Hello everyone, hope your day's going good so far. Today we'll be making an isometric room, which is in 2-point perspective, so we'll need to go to our toolbar, turn our drawing guide on and edit our drawing guide. We're going to adjust the grid size to 77. That should be good. Then we're going to go to our background color, change it to something other than white, and turn our drawing assist on for layer 1. Then we're going to start making our outside shape. So this is going to be our basic outline for the room. I'm going to add another layer with the drawing assist on and get a rough outline of where all the shapes will lie. Then I'm going to add another layer on top of that and do a little more in detailed version of those shapes within the guidelines I already made. This is our rough draft. I'm going to be adjusting some things still, like the beanbag and the pots, but this is good for now. Quick tip for saving your brush size: click the size you want. Mine is at 4%, and then I click the plus sign and it saves it as a little dash. To make a perfect circle, make a rough circle and press down and it'll make it perfect for you. I'm making this into perspective with the rest of the drawing, so I have freeform on and I'm getting the rough size. I added another circle in the middle, which will be the button. Then I go to the distort and line it up with the lines of the isometric grid. Now you have a perfect circle in perspective with the rest of the drawing. To finish off the cushion, I'm going to duplicate that layer, move it down a little bit, and then erase the lines I don't need. Gonna add the lines on the edge to close it off. Now I can combine these layers by pinching them and then duplicate it and move it to create the other cushion. Now the two cushions and everything else can be in the same group, so I'm gonna pinch them together. Now that the final outline is done, I'm going to add another layer for color. I put that under the final outline of the objects. And then made another layer for color for the room outline. And I made the room outline my reference so that when I add color into the room, it'll only be on the walls and the floor. I fast forwarded ahead of me picking all the colors, but this is what I came up with. I tested some colors and I didn't like it, so I'm making another layer for the color of the objects. This is a trick for filling color. If you're using the same color, you can click continue filling and tap all the other parts that you want to fill in with that color instead of having to drag every single time. I just adjusted the walls a little bit to a darker shade of beige. To make the window, I added another layer with the reference still being the object outline, filled it in with a dark orange color, and then I made another layer on top of that using the brown as my reference and turned clipping mask onto that layer so that I can fill in without going outside of the brown in the window. I added some orange, a little bit of a pinkish red, and some yellow, and then I clicked blur and put it up to 8%. Give it a nice gradient. I'm rearranging some things right now, put them in better order, and these can be combined now. So I'm adding another layer, which is going to be the shadows, and I'm going to put that to multiply and pick a dark color. End up going with an orangish brown tone. When I was doing the shadows and highlights, I put the clipping mask on so that it would stay within the colors that I made. Now that I'm adding highlights, instead of clicking multiply, I did add. And I'm just adjusting the opacity here down to 50% so it's not as harsh. That looks a lot better. I used a lighter greenish blue color for the highlights. You can see as I change through each object, it actually changes the color depending on what the background is, which is why we use add for highlights and multiply for shadows. We're putting all these highlights towards the light source, which is the window. Now to finish up the window, we're going to go click that little S up in the toolbar and start at the corner of the window up towards the plant and work our way down, not completely straight, to the other side of the window, click that corner and then close it off. Then we're going to pick a color within our window and go to the soft brush, change the opacity and the size of the brush up a little bit. Then we're going to fill it in only towards the window part, so it kind of fades out towards the end. Then we're going to turn our blur up just a little bit to make it look more natural and turn the opacity down. add an image in by going to the toolbar and inserting an image from the camera roll. This is another painting I did, and we're going to add it to fit within the poster. So we're going to turn our drawing guide back on and go to distort. And just like with the cushions, we're going to change those corner points to line up with the grid, so everything is in perspective. Now we're gonna click the little S thing up in the toolbar and go around the poster, click invert, go up to that layer and click clear, which will make the edges go away. Now we're gonna go to our brush library into textures and click wood. We're gonna put that under the room outline, turn the clipping mask off, and lightly fill in that area. We're gonna be using this for the floor. Now that we have it filled in, we're gonna move it so it aligns with the grid. We're going to duplicate that because we're going to be using it for other stuff too. Now I'm going to use that S tool and outline the floor. Excuse my head. Close it out and go to invert and clear, so it's just showing on the floor. I use that same texture for the walls and the bookshelf and the plant shelf on the wall. Almost done now. The last thing we're gonna do is redo these lights. I'm gonna double click that layer to clear everything we had in there before. And we're gonna pick the green color again. Then go to the light pen, which is in the luminance section in the brush library. And I'm gonna make a little circle and then put a dot within that circle to make it look like a light. Then I went and filled in those spaces with orange light bulbs. Couple last touches, we're gonna add smoke to the blunt and to the incense. I have to adjust the brush size and the color to a gray. There we go, that looks better. And last, the incense. If you can tell in the incense, I also used the light pen for the glowing ember within that and the black. Alright, that's it. Hopefully you guys learned something and enjoyed the process. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.